to Earth. So in this guide, I'm going to be showing you everything there is to show you, basically, about Earth. So, first off, Earth is the first planet you'll always be starting on. I obviously can't show you that because, you know, I'm too far. But basically, this has one of the two free roam places on Earth, not Earth, in the solar system, in the origin system. Sorry, Cetus and Plains of Ildon. Now they both go together. Plains of Ildon is just merely the free roam place where you will be doing all the missions, and Cetus is where you go buy the stuff like Zaws, and I will be doing a Cetus and Plains of Ildon guide separately, but not today. Now, one thing is to note with every planet, there's always a boss. There's always a boss, and there's always a junction. Ignore Lua because you don't get into that when you're at this stage. Now, as you can see, this is a fairly easy mission, and basically these are just starter missions to get you going on Earth. But one thing each planet has, it differs from planet to planet. There's usually 1 to 2 junctions. There's the Mars junction, which you can use to get to Mars, and the Venus junction. I recommend going with the Venus junction just because it's super easy. Plus, completing Vor's Prize is something you have to do to start the game, and you have to collect 20 mods, so you already do that during Vor's Prize. So it's just super easy to do. Once you do that. Now, basically this is just to start you off, like I said. But again, now, you are usually not going to have the warframe I'm using right here, which is Titania. You're usually going to have whichever warframe you decided to pick. So, if you picked Excalibur, you'll have Excalibur. Volt, Mag. You get the idea. So, one thing I highly suggest doing is just playing whichever missions you want, or whichever missions will get you to Venus. So, I'm going to go mission by mission. I'm going to go mission by mission and show you what each one does. So, the first one we are going to do is Mariana. Now, this is an extermination mission. Extermination missions are basically, you have to kill a certain number of enemies. You have to kill a certain number of enemies in the mission. Once that is accomplished, you simply just move on and go to extraction. So now take note.
There is a large platoon of Grenier Marines stationed here. Leave no one standing.
Like she said, there's a large platoon. So I have to kill 35 targets. Now this is going to be relatively easy for me, and it should be relatively easy for you if you picked the right frame. Sorry. But one thing you do have to recognize is that energy. Energy is required to use your weapons, as you learned in the tutorial. So this is Mariana. You will progress through this door, and essentially just tear your way through this mission and just kill every enemy you find. Now, I highly recommend, if you ever see a chest, always pick up whatever is in it. Always search everywhere for loot. You definitely need to get into the habit, especially in the later missions, and also in the later planets.
Let's go on the offensive.
Yeah, see, these are massive these are massive loot rooms. Always get into the habit of looting everything. Now this is a Id2day's Scion Star. You're gonna need them to fill up Id2day treasures. You won't really get into them until later down the road, so don't bother, but still pick them up because you can sell them for Endo if you have a lot of them. Endo is very crucial in this game. Now, one thing you can do is you can try to stealth kill your opponent. That clearly it didn't work for me. Now that is a stealth kill. You won't be able to. Now your current sword won't do this. That's because I've completed a certain quest. Sacrifice. Now, enemies will become alerted to your position, and they will try to raise the alarm. As that guy is, yeah. See? Well, he tried. But basically, if multiple enemies see you, one of them will try to raise the alarm and summon reinforcements to come kill you.
You're still in the clear. No detection from enemy sensors.
Now, one thing about this game that you have to remember is that this exact tile set will not be the same when you play it. Mainly because the tile sets each time you go to a new tile, which is this. So, let me show you. So if I okay. So see how right here it just stops. This entire thing is one tile, which is joined together to this tile, and then this tile is obviously joined together with the rest. So and it's always randomized. It's always randomized to keep it fresh and almost seem like you're in a different location. Now, one thing you do have to be careful with, and aren't exactly very common, are these guys, Eximuses. Yep, there goes the alarm. Now, Eximuses, they come in multiple different forms depending on where you are. But most of them, but a majority of the Grenier are either fire and ice. Fire will knock you on your feet and cause you to become stunned, allowing the enemies to shoot you. While frost slows down your actions. Now, they're not particularly tough, especially not at this level, but definitely be aware.
You have broken their ranks and they are on the run. Another successful mission. Find extraction.
And another thing I'd love to clarify is that you're not going to be running into any really dangerous troops, at least for the most part. You don't really get into stuff like Noxes and stuff like that until later.
Warframe is strong.
Until later in the game. You don't get into that until much later into the game when you're a little bit more experienced. And I will also be doing, in this same episode, I will also be doing a review on how to beat the boss. Now, Now, each planet has a boss. Each boss holds a certain Warframe part. You need Warframe part blueprints to craft Warframe parts. Once you have that, you can build more Warframe. You can build more Warframes and expand your arsenal. Weapons sometimes go by this standard, but it's very rare. A lot of the weapons you're going to be getting are just going to require are just merely going to require just simple resources you can collect. And the first weapon I highly recommend you get is the Boltor. The Boltor, super easy to pick up, super easy to use. It's really good, at least for the most part, until you get to places with better weaponry. Now, there are a few places that I'm not going to be able to do a full review of. One being Sedna and the Derelict. In the Derelict, Kruva Fortress, and the and Sedna. Those planets I don't really have unlocked because I don't really play them, but I will. But there are other reviews online that can help you there. So, let me show you. Don't mind my foundry. So, basically, if we go into the market, and we go over to Warframes, you can see this is every Warframe in the game. Now, if you want to buy them, you can, but there's a select few that aren't buyable. One being primes. Primes of any kind, whether it be weapon or Warframe, cannot be bought with platinum from the market. You can still buy them with platinum, but you have to buy them off of other people. Now, there is one Odentana Prime, but you won't get into that until later, so don't worry about that. But these are essentially better versions of current Warframes that are in the game. Now, there is one that I want to show you, Excalibur Umbra. He is the only Umbra frame in the game. He is the only Umbra frame in the game. That's why most people just refer to him as Umbra, because it's just one. So, he is very good, but you will not get into his quest until later on, which is this quest, the Sacrifice, which you need this, and then you need this. You also need to complete War Within, Second Dream, Nata, and a bunch of other stuff. Now,
I've been thinking, Operator.
Now,
I thought you'd want to know.
the next planet, you will get the quest, which is which is Voxelaris. Now, this is the Fortuna mission. It's the same thing as Sia's Vigil. Now, Sia's Vigil is essentially just your introduction to what's it called? The Plains of Eidolon. It will teach you the ropes, and it will also give you the Gara blueprint. Gara is really good. Now I will go in depth with how to get her later on when I do the what's it called? Cetus and Plains of Eidolon. I will also do the same thing for Venus and Fortuna and the Orb Valis, mainly because many people just see them as different entities. They are on the same planet, but I will not be going over them because they are both very expansive. So, yes. Okay. Now basically you can find a what's it called? A boss mission with this little symbol right here. Or
Breathing my air! This is unacceptable!
Shut up, Bayheck. Shut up. Or you can find them by their transmission that they send.
finish this business once.
So, we will go into his mission when we are done. Don't worry. And before you say anything, yes, I completed Urupo. Trust me, do not do Arcwing if you... Wait a second. Oh, yeah. Oh, also, if you haven't heard, another thing I have to show you is definitely do not get into... I know some of you may have heard about Rising Tide, which is this quest. This is the Railjack quest. The same quest you get your Railjack, which is, if I can find it, which is that ship right up there. You will not get this until you're long down the road. Trust me, it takes hundreds. It takes so long to grind for, and it took me so long to finish. Mainly because one of the parts takes 15 fucking Argon crystals, which are insanely hard to find. Trust me, do not bother doing Railjack until you are at least my level, until you're at least Master Rank 11 or 10 or at least 9. At least do it when you are rank 9. Then you will have much more experience and you'll know what you're doing by then. By then you'll have much more experience. And yes, I am crafting something. It's a arc gun. It's for Railjack. So, alright, next mission up. So, next mission, I am in fact going to change off of Titania. I shall change to Loki, because the next mission we are going to do is a spy mission. So, let me just get... I don't know, how would that look with... Oh yeah, and if you have a single pistol along with a glaive-like weapon, which any glaive-like weapon could be, the Serrata, the glaive prime, or the Falcor. Now, just focus on the glaive because it's just easier to get. Yeah, and I think that should be everything. Yeah. Alright, so the next mission is a spy mission. Now, spy missions are interesting because they require you to be sneaky. Wait, is there not a spy mission on Earth? I could have sworn there was a spy mission on Earth. Bullshit. Am I dumb? Capture, defense. Oh, here it is. Yeah, there we go. Don't worry about the other thing, that is just a nightmare mode. That's because of my rank. And that is because of my progress in the game. So, now this one, you do have to be sneaky. Now, don't think, oh, because I don't have Loki, I'm not going to be able to do this. No, you can definitely be sneaky. It's just that, well, I'll show you what you have to do as soon as I get into the mission. Okay, so there are three vaults you have to invade.
Tenno, you are here to infiltrate data vaults and retrieve HUD-sensitive enemy information.
Now this is me just getting some energy back so I can use my abilities.
Tenno. A lookout for increased security measures.
So don't bother worrying about my operator. It is just merely a thing because of my rank. You won't get this until you complete the war within. And again, also Purple Lotus is again because of my rank and because of how far I've gotten in the game. So yeah, you will just see more of Lotus, trust me. Come on, how long does it take for this thing to charge up? Now the important thing here is to not sound the alarm when you are right next to the vault. And what I mean by that is I mean this. This is the spy vault right here. Now what you want to do is you never want to trip the alarm when you're here, because then the data will start purging. When the data starts purging, you will get a timer. You'll get a timer to still recover it. Now, what you have to do is hack this.
Console. Check for the alarms now, and they will start destroying the data.
Now, once you're in, you can hop down here and merely just work your way and just simply work your way through here. Now, I think if I go our print. Nope, that's one thing you do have to know is that normally this would be excruciating for you because you don't have much skill. No offense. But, so now, you have to hack this and get the data.
Extracted. They won't even know it's gone.
And then it opens up and you can head to the next vault. Now, there is a chance you can get Ivara from this. And recently they did release Ivara Prime. But, I'd highly recommend not getting Ivara until you're later in the game. Especially not until you have Loki like I do, because having Loki makes us a breeze. Okay, so next one is C. Now, one thing you will commonly find on Earth is these Kubro dens. Definitely want to destroy them, especially if you're trying to do Howl of the Kubro, because there's a chance it will drop a Kubrow egg. Now, a Kubrow egg can be used to breed a Kubrow. One that isn't wild. Now, there are cats in this game, but you don't get them until you're
The target
long down
console
the
is
road.
nearby.
Hell, I don't
If you
even have
trigger
one.
the alarms now, the enemy will start destroying data.
There's supposed to be like a elevator button. Now, if these lasers, if you touch these lasers, you will get detected. Oh! Almost touched them. Wait. Oh. Okay. Now, I don't know why they still have this here, but just try and just wall run your way past it. And definitely destroy that sensor bar. Also, getting a stealth kill will give you an affinity bonus. Affinity is just Warframe's version of XP.
Excellent work. A clean extraction. Alarms.
Now, all that is left is B. Just stop killing all these enemies. Just simply killing all these enemies. And if you're wondering why you can't see, my Loki, it's because I have him. It's because I have him as a black energy, so he basically doesn't show up.
The target console is nearby. If you trigger the alarms now, the enemy will start destroying data.
Now this one is interesting. Now this one is interesting because this one is
Little
off,
things,
is underwater.
Big things grow, dreamers. I believe in you all.
Next one you're gonna, okay, so you do that one, which
Keep
lowers
moving.
the water level.
None of the scanners have detected you.
And then you simply just do this. There's one over there. Now you cannot let him raise the alarm. Oh crap. He's gonna raise the alarm as me. No, he's not. He's an idiot. Now, what you're gonna want to do is get on this zip line and go through this waterfall to here. Hack this. and then complete the spy vault as usual. Hack the security. Get in. And...
Excellent work.
out.
A clean extraction with no alarms. We have everything we came for. Get to extraction.
Now you can do this with a squad, and I highly recommend you do. But if you don't want to do that, just follow what I did.
Pull the trigger.
And also, if you don't want to watch this guide, you can always just listen to what Lotus tells you to do in the missions. So it's not that difficult to figure out. Yep, Ivara systems. Now, obviously these aren't very common. They are extremely uncommon, if you ask me. And I really think they should be a lot more a lot easier to find. But yeah. So this will be Id2day's Guide to Earth. Have a good day, guys.